All right, let's talk Russell Wilson, who, after week one, everyone's saying, okay, when is Jackson Dart going to get into a game? What's going to happen there? I guess technically he did take a couple snaps in this game. But I made a film study, and I kind of felt like the situation wasn't great. Guys weren't really getting open. I didn't really put a lot of the blame on Wilson, and in this game, he showed he's at least a capable quarterback. There are things he can do effectively, and we saw that in this game, and kind of in ways that you don't see a lot of other quarterbacks take advantage of. So, for example, this is a 3rd and 25. Definitely not expecting to convert here. It's a cover 2 zone that the Cowboys are in, but Wan'Dale Robinson's route going more over the middle is an interesting one. Wilson's going to take the snap, and a lot of times what happens on these routes is the safeties go deep to make sure they pay attention to that route, and because of it, it can open up something else. Now, what you can do and what you're supposed to do as a quarterback is if you see there is a window, you have to make sure you attack it to force the safeties to cover it. Here, this isn't just a bit of a window, this is a huge window, which Cowboys have to be better. But Wilson makes the throw, he reads the play, gets it down the field. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of a starting quarterback, is to be able to make those reads. And you also can't help but think, this is good lessons for Jackson Dart, right? To see what he's doing and say, oh, okay, got it. If this kind of thing happens, that's what I have to do. I think that should only help the young quarterback sitting on the sideline, and also it helps you win football games. Heading over to this one, this is going to be a 3rd down and 1 situation. This was a huge part of the game, right? Is you have superstar receiver Malik Neighbors, throw it in his direction. Not a bad idea. We saw this a good chunk where, again, 3rd and 1, you could try and run it or anything, but honestly, the way Malik Neighbors was playing in this game, it's a high percentage play to throw a deep shot to him. Watch as Wilson's going to take the snap. It does get open pretty quickly, really wide open. Wilson's able to make a nice throw, and they're able to pick up a big completion. Again, there was all the talk of Neighbors last week of, things looking a little clunky. Well, no talk of that this week because things went swimmingly for him and Wilson. Also, this one where I believe what's happening here is it's actually pretty similar to that Wan'Dale Robinson play. I believe this is quarters coverage that the Cowboys defense is in. Neighbors running a deep route on this one. Wilson takes the snap, and you see this gets wide open. And I believe what happens is you have, two defensive backs who are down the field. Both are kind of just assuming the other guy has Malik Neighbors. And again, you got to make sure the defense stays honest on this. If they're messing this up, you have to take advantage, and that's exactly what Russell Wilson was able to do. Heading over here, it was not just Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson, while those were obviously the two kind of main players here. I thought just in general, the offense was working. So this is going to be a zone coverage play, and this is going to be a play action where they're going to try to throw over the middle here. Wilson takes the snap, and it's going to actually be Theo Johnson who's going to be in position right here to try and make a play. He's open. I mean, again, Cowboys getting out of position with the play action. The play action really worked well, and there's just a window here for Wilson to make the play. Watch, he makes the throw. It's nothing too fancy, but ultimately it's a 1st down, and when you're getting 1st downs, that's a good thing. That's all you need. So, yeah, very good stuff there by just the whole Giants offensive unit. It wasn't perfect. I feel like in regulation, kind of the biggest issue was, this play's not an ideal play. You see the Cowboys and how they are selling as though they could potentially be, heavily blitzing here. That's something Wilson has to be aware of, and this has been an issue with Wilson kind of his whole career, even in his prime in Seattle. Watch how he's going to take the snap, and as of right here, pressure comes, and really, the ball has to be coming out of your hands here. This is too late into the play with a blitz to still be holding on to the ball, looking for something to happen, especially on 2nd and 10. If you don't love what you see, throw it into the dirt. But instead, Wilson really just sits there until he gets sacked. I mean, that's, again, not an ideal way to play that play. So not a huge deal, but that is kind of the one critique I have in regulation with Russell Wilson. Although, like I said, not a huge deal. Only 2 sacks that the Giants gave up, which is good. Again, that might say more about the Cowboys' lack of pass rush, but still, that's good. And of course, as good as Wilson was throughout the course of this game, really where he shined was at the end of regulation with a couple of key passes. So first here, 4th down and 4, they're down 4 points. So yeah, let's go for it. See if we can, find a way to make this play work. It's going to be a zone coverage concept. You once again have Wan'Dale Robinson running a deep shot. And once again for Dallas, I mean, watch when this play begins. You have two defensive backs there who can potentially cover Wan'Dale Robinson. And again, if you're an offense, you see a weakness, keep exploiting the weakness, right? A good player takes advantage of their opponent's mistakes. That's what the Giants were doing. As you see, nobody picks up Wan'Dale Robinson. Giants are able to get that key touchdown on 4th down and 4, and just like that, they take the lead. Of course, that would not be the end of the game because the Cowboys marched down the field and scored a touchdown. And then heading over here, it looks like this is I believe this is a man coverage concept, but you have two safeties deep on this play, and given the fact that Malik Neighbors is the only player toward the bottom of the screen, that just means, of course, he's going to get double covered. There's 33 seconds left. The Giants are down for no timeouts. They don't need to go for a touchdown here, but they definitely are going to need at least a chunk play at a certain point. However, when this play begins, I think part of it is, the Giants or the Cowboys were ready for, okay, is this going to be a over the middle route? What are they doing here? Maybe they weren't fully ready for the Giants to just try and take a shot down the field. You see Malik Neighbors, he's past both of these defensive backs. They knew to cover him. He just ran past them. Also, a really nice throw from Russell Wilson. Great awareness to be able to locate the ball and make the grab by Malik Neighbors. And just like that, they were able to take the lead. Of course, then Brandon Aubrey happens, so now you have overtime. And I will say, a couple of key mistakes in overtime. So first, this play, it's a 2nd down and 3. The Cowboys, they lost the toss. The Giants won the toss, but due to new overtime rules, they decided to kick away. The Cowboys did not convert. They had to punt back to the Giants. So all you need is a field goal to win this game. A nice little drive here, given how this is going, and you're going to be the winner of the game. Instead, on this play, Russell Wilson goes to flip it. It would have been a 1st down, and the ball he pulls it back for whatever reason, and the ball slips out of his hand and goes backwards. They end up losing 14 yards. It wasn't a fumble, but they lose 14 yards. It could have been the end of the game had the Cowboys recovered, but even with the losing 14 yards, you gave the Cowboys the ball back. The Cowboys got stopped again, so then you get another chance. Your defense, which was horrible in the 4th quarter, keeping you in it here in overtime. And then here on a 2nd and 13, this is a weird play where it's going to be a zone coverage concept once again with 2 defenders further deep. This time it's not going to go out quite as well as some of the other ones have. Wilson takes a snap and he just didn't read the safety here. I mean, that's what happened is he throws it down the field. He sees that his receiver is well past the corner and just didn't realize there was a safety. So he thinks he has a touchdown and they're going to win the game. Somehow missed the safety. And because of that, the receiver just kept running his route. He didn't go over the middle as well. That's Neighbors, the receiver. So what ends up happening? Well, Cowboys get the pick, and because of that, Cowboys ultimately do get in field goal range and win the football game. So, yeah, I mean, definitely a disappointing end to what was still a very impressive game by Russell Wilson and by these receivers. So, and also a horrible game by the Cowboys defense. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.